so the testing or the assessment of lower abs number 2, what we're looking for is to see not that you can just activate your lower abs, but you can activate them against the weight of your own leg. So we're going to start with Matt bending his knees. Bend your knees up for me, Matt. Put your feet on the floor. I'm going to put the lower blood pressure cuff just underneath your lumbar spine. Like we do in lower abs number 1, except this time, instead of just holding the contraction, I'm going to get Matt to lift his legs up. So I'm going to pump the blood pressure cuff up to 40 like we do in lower abs number 1. It's on. So Matt, I'm going to get you to take a deep breath in, blow it out, and draw your belly button in as you come in. So that needle's raising up to 70. Once it's steady on 70, which it is, I'm going to get you to just gently lift one leg at a time, Matt, holding that contraction. So bringing the knee up, so bringing the leg up, good, and then slowly down, holding the contraction, and then swapping over to the other leg. Good, and slowly down again. Good, and take a rest there. So in your assessment, we're going to get you to do that, I think it's 30 seconds.
So for the next test, we've got our Sorensen test, which we'll set up on a bench. We're going to look at ASIS still being on the bench, and hands at this point are on the ground. Your coach will anchor your legs, and in some cases may even sit on it. But what we'll do is we'll anchor here, and then I'm going to get Tanya to lift her arms up and behind her, down towards her butt and lifting up. This is a trunk extension test, and we're looking for level 1 to reach 58 seconds. I'm going to hold. And if we find that Tanya starts to drop down, we give 1 cue to lift back up, to bring that back up again. So come back up, Tanya. And if she was to do that again, that would be the end of the test. The other end of our test at this stage will be when we reach 58 seconds, and I'll get Tanya to gently place her hands back on the ground first, and then to relax before I let go.
Okay, so this is our trunk flexion level 1 test. What we're going to get Tanya to do is come into an upright position with her back, and then she's going to come back. So she's going to put her arms on her chest, and then she's going to come back to about 50 degrees here. We're going to get her to hold there for 50 seconds, which is the prescribed time for level 1. We don't want to see the feet come up, and we don't want to see this chest position cave like this. We can cue Tanya to come back straight with the chest, and we may get it to adjust the angle as well. Beautiful. So that's the position we're after for 50 seconds, trunk flexion level 1.
So for the next test, we're doing side plank, and we're going to come up onto the left elbow on this side in this particular picture, but we will be doing both sides. What we're looking for is to have the elbow directly under the shoulder for when we come up. In this position here, we can have our feet in front like this, or on top like this. When we pop up into the position, we're looking for a nice straight line all the way up. So tend to just pop up into the 45. With this hand, we can have it here, or we can just rest it down by the side. And we're looking for ear, shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle to be kind of all in a straight line. You will see a variation if we take the feet off, but we're still looking for a nice straight line through this way. Pass mark for this one is 45 seconds on each side, and we can't have a difference of more than 5% on each side, because that will indicate a fail as well. And rest.
So in this assessment, we're looking for your ability to extend through your thoracic spine. That's important to avoid kyphosis in the spine, and also be able to, you've got to be able to reverse your arm degree, or reverse the thoracic degree, extension degree by 14 degrees. So with the 2 inclinometers, I'm going to mark certain spots on your spine. I'm going to put the goniometers on your spine, and then with Matt, I'm just going to get him to just gently take your arms straight up above your head, Matt. All the way up as far as you can. Good, and hold that there. So from those 2 readings, I'm going to be able to determine whether you're in the range of being able to put your arms over your head safely and being able to reverse that thoracic curve in your spine then. Arms down, Matt. And relax.
section, we're doing 30 bodyweight squats. We're looking for parallel at the knees to the ground and arms are out in front as we go ahead and demonstrate here. Down and up, that's good. We don't want to see any bowing in the front as I'm going to demonstrate right now, or these guys are going to demonstrate. Good. And we want nice, good, solid movements. This is a non-stop movement, so we want to get to 30 unbroken. And break.
Okay, so for the next part of the assessment, we're looking at your push-up. For males, we want to have just 20 push-ups in a row with excellent technique. With females, we just want 10 push-ups in a row, so on your toes. So Matt, I'm going to get you to go up onto your toes for me. Hips up just a little bit higher, so we want to maintain neutral spine the whole way through this push-up, making sure, Matt, you touch the back of the head with your pole the whole way through. So belly button drawn in, and off you go. Good, and back up. That's good. Good, push up. So what we don't want to see happening is getting too much arch in your spine. So Matt, I'll show you, I'll get you to demo a really dodgy one. So yeah, that's it. We don't want to see that happening in the lumbar spine. We also don't want to see the head moving away from the pole. That's what we don't want to happen. So go back into the good position and just do one more for me, Matt. And go. And that's it.
Okay, so for the next assessment in level 1 is a pull-up. For males, we need to see 3 continuous pull-ups. For females, we just need to see 1. Okay, so what we want to see is Tanya's can take the bar in an under grip. If you prefer, you can go over as well. She's looking like she's going to go under grip. What I'm going to ask her to do is come onto her arms, engage her shoulders here, turn on the tummy muscles, and then pull up from there. Nice. Beautiful. So what we don't want to see is people jumping up into the pull-up like this. Okay, that will be a fail. If people come up a little way and then they can't go further, that will also be a fail.
So the next part of your assessment is doing some lunges. So we want to see you do 20 lunges on each leg, just on the same leg. So you do 20 on one leg, and then I'll get you to swap over and do 20 on the other leg. With the lunge, we want to see a nice neutral spine, so keeping the chest up, body upright. I want to see the weight shifting down into the front heel. So a 90-degree angle at the knee. I want to see the back knee bending as well towards the floor. If your knee touches the floor, that's okay. It's not preferable, but if it touches, that's fine. You're not going to get failed on that. So let's go, Matt. So Matt's doing a great distance. He's moving, and I'll get you to stay on one leg for me, Matt. So just stay on that left leg. Yep. He's stepping across the mat, so that's about the distance we want, depending on the height of your legs. If you're a little bit shorter, we're going to get that step a little bit shorter, but he's doing that perfectly. So I'll get you to show me, Matt, a bad rep. That's right. So we don't want to see that weight shifting forward, and we don't want to see that chest dropping down. So just do one on this side again for me. So that's a good rep. Okay, you can rest there, Matt. So I'm going to get Matt to come around to the side here now. So we can test it either way. We don't mind whether you want to do it in a walking lunge or whether we do it across the mat. So now I'll just get you to a walking lunge for the next bit. Hands can go by your side, or hands can go on your hips as well. Okay.
For our next test in the level 1 assessments is our crawling. What we're looking for here is core stability, pelvis stability, and our pattern of a mammalian crawl rather than our reptilian crawl, which would be the same on the same side. We're going to use a ball in this as well for a bit of a feedback. I'm going to place the ball on the lower back and create just enough of an arch through the lower back so the ball stays in place. And we're going to pop up onto the toes, and we're going to start to move down towards the other end of the gym. For the first couple of steps, I may hold the ball just to give you that feeling, and then I'll let it go, and making sure that we're doing a nice long movement as well. Our goal here is to get from the start of the gym here to up towards the cable machine at the back. whilst maintaining the ball. I think if I'm generous, I'll give you one chance if the ball falls off to reset. As we get to about this point, when it starts to kick in, the main thing is not to place your knees back down on the ground.
Assessment, we're looking at a squat, a weighted squat, or a back squat. So I'm going to get Matt to step up to the bar and put the weight on his back. So it's just at the junction between the neck and where the shoulders start. And with the squat, we're looking to get just at horizontal. So not below, not too far below, and definitely not above. And it's 75% of your body weight for 1 rep. Okay, Matt, so step up to the bar. Good. So you'll see that Matt hasn't got the bar on his cervical spine. It's actually just resting on the muscles, the upper traps there. So he's going to lift it up and step just a couple of steps back. Good. That's far enough, Matt. Feet just beyond shoulder width apart. And he's just going to squat down there. Good. Just going to get Matt to do one more. Just want him to keep his chest up high. There you go, Matt. Perfect. Step back and rack that back up. Now we're going to demonstrate what we don't want to see, but I'm not going to get Matt to do that weight because it would be too dangerous. So Matt, just grab that dowel rod and put it in the same position for me across your back. I'll get you to do a bad rep. So Matt's going to show us what a bad rep is. Drop your chest down. So that's what we don't want to see. Come back up again. We don't want to see that chest dropping down. We also want him to make sure he gets parallel, and that time, if you do it again, Matt, he didn't get down to parallel with his leg, with his thighs. And come back up now.
Our next movement is the deadlift, one of our more technical moves, as most people are aware of. We are aiming at 1 times body weight, 100% of your own body weight on the bar. Bar being 20 kilos, so make sure you add up correctly. When we're addressing the bar, we'll get Matt here to step up to the bar. We're going to take the bar and make sure that it's quite close to the shins. That's our first step. When we're sitting into the position, we want to make sure that our hips are low and our chest is up. You can come up just a bit in the butt, that's fine. And our grip's going to be overhand, or we can go to a split grip if that's what you require for this movement. From there, we want to make sure that we engage, so we're not bending at the elbows, the chest stays up, and we have a nice strong cage position here. From this point, we're going to try and lift through the heels. It's not about trying to lift the weight with your arms. So we're going to engage our core, and we're going to drive through the floor, and the weight should just come up. We're going to pull our shoulders back at the top and not up and over. So coming back down to the ground is important. We're going to hinge at the hip first and let that bar travel down the front of the shins. Let's go again and see that one. So standing all the way up. Squeezing the glutes, and on the way back, pushing your hips back first, and allowing that bar to pass your knees before you start to bend and touch the ground. I do want to see the bar or the weight touch the ground with each rep. You only have to do 1 rep, but it has to be controlled on the way up and on the way down. We don't want to see that rounding of the back that tends to happen with deadlifting. We don't want the bar to be all the way out in front. We don't want to see a jerky movement with the plates. We want a nice, clean movement, and we'll coach you safely through this one. For our next assessment, we're doing a shoulder press with the bar in the rack here. Matt's going to demonstrate this one. We want to be at 25% of body weight for this one. This is slightly above for Matt, but for the purpose of the exercise, we're going to do it this way. Matt's going to address the bar and take a nice even width with his hands. Sternal notch is basically where he's going to be with that, and lift it off and step 1 step back. The next part is to have nice soft knees and a nice high chest, as though we're being pulled up towards the ceiling. Okay? And from there, we're doing a nice strict press with hands straight overhead. And go ahead and press. And then coming back down. What we're looking for here is that we don't increase our curve here, lose too much here, and we're also making sure that we're not doing a bouncing movement through the whole press. You can rack that again for me. And that will be a pass if we get all those things done. Evaluation. Our next evaluation is the bench press. We're going to have 2 options here, and we'll show you both options. One's going to be the ball and the bar, and the other one's going to be ball and dumbbell, depending on where we sit at the moment with your weights. For males, we're looking at 75% of your body weight, and for females, we're looking at 50% of your body weight. I'll get Matt to roll out into position here. So rolling out on the Swiss ball, coming under the bar. We're looking at just making sure Matt's eyes are under the ball and making sure that he's far enough forward for when he comes on. And we're going to lift that weight up. So important features here, we're looking to keep the hips up the whole time. We're looking at feet under knees. We're looking at sternal notch over the middle of the ball and head resting nicely on the ball as well. When the bar comes down, we're looking to get as low as comfortably possible, but we don't need to get those elbows all the way back. So if need be, we can stop just short and then coming back up, and then we'll rack that position up behind, and then Matt can just gently come up and off the ball. So for our second option, dumbbells on the ball, same principles. We're going to roll out into position, and we're going to press the weights up. And that's our starting position basically there. Again, we're looking for hips to be nice and high. We're looking feet under knees, and we're looking for sternal notch head position on the ball to be nice and strong. When we're coming down, we're looking for at least the depth of this one here, and then pushing straight back up to the top. We don't need to touch the weights together. They may naturally come together, that's fine. As we come into one more rep. Don't forget to breathe on this one as well, so we're pressing all the way up. Good work, and one more for good luck. And we can stop just there, and coming back up. Great. With the ball, we have a tendency to be able to come a bit lower than we normally would, so we want to make sure that you don't get so low that you can't get back up again, okay? So we'll make sure that we cue you properly on that one. For our final assessment, we're looking at the kettlebell swing. And we're trying to do 20 kettlebell swings in 60 seconds. As you can see, males will have the 20 kilo, females will have the 16 kilo bell. And then we're looking for a few factors when we're doing this one. So guys, start swinging. We're looking at that hip hinge and our kick of the hips. We want to make sure that we're coming up to just basically eye level. So Matt can come a little bit higher with his. Tenny, you can just settle right there, it's good. And we'll just do two more for the purpose. And rest there, good. Making sure you put the bell back on the ground really safely as well. Our starting position is going to be very similar to the deadlift. And for anyone that needs it, we'll make sure that we're cueing you really well and safely for this one.